Good evening and welcome to Banana Slug News. I'm Jessica Rumble. Nick.
We on? Good evening and welcome to Banana Slug News. I'm Nick Breidinger.
And I'm still Jessica Rumble. We have a special show prepared for our viewers this evening, don't we, Nick?
I wouldn't call it that.
Tonight's show is a long-awaited economy episode where we focus on how the current downturn in the economy is affecting various facets of student living in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, like losing your job, and your investments, and your home, and rights to see your children.
Yes, thank you, Nick.
And meaning in life, and reasons to live.
Thank you, Nick. Here's what's news. Every year, the student population at UCSC grows, and the campus seems to be bursting at the seams, trying to house all of the freshmen and transfer students. We follow reporter Sarah Washington for a look at the current housing issues and potential solutions.
Housing crises seem to be all the rage this year, and while the rest of the nation seems to be suffering from too many houses and not enough people who can afford to fill them, UCSC seems to be suffering from an opposite problem. In 2004, an incoming freshman would have paid $8,769 for a triple room and a lounge. Today, they pay $10,305 for a room that was initially built for two. That's roughly a $1,500 difference for less space. With prices growing and spaces simultaneously shrinking, how are the students reacting?
I mean, I think that's terrible. You know, a lot of those spaces are pretty confined and were built for a certain number of people, and I know Stevenson in particular, I have some friends, it's like 3 in the double. And I mean, for kids to pay the same amount of tuition, they should expect the same sort of amenities that we had every year. So to consolidate space like that is very important.
Our room was supposed to be for a single person, and we're trying to put 2 persons in that room, so I think that's not very fair. You know, we're paying a higher price for housing, and I don't know, I didn't like that very much.
Since there's a continual population increase, it's just, you're going to have to squeeze people in.
And while many are finding the housing situation to be stressful or unfair, some students aren't finding it to be as negative.
It just doesn't bother me that much, I guess. It's not so bad. Like, it's just small, but it's cool. Like, we get along. I think it's, you know, you're young, you're flexible.
As long as the freshmen are okay, you know, being crammed with each other, like they like their roommates and stuff like that, then I think it's a good thing. Because last year I got real close to my roommate, so, you know, it's a good bonding experience.
It's okay, actually. It's not that bad. I got the bed over there, so, you know, I have the mess room, but yeah, it's alright. Not stressful, but it is a little, like, cramped in here, because they're really messy, and so we would like more room, but it's alright.
I think for the most part residents have been dealing well with it, and since, I mean, you can't complain about stuff you don't know what was there before. Like, they didn't live here last year. Everyone in the A building, which is the only Porter dorm building for first year students, is all first years. So it's better because folks don't know how big rooms were before with like more people. So I think for the most part there hasn't been too many complaints. People have been dealing with it okay. It's more important to get people into living spaces than to not have them here at all.
When housing offices and the Public Information Office were asked to produce a statement or comment in response to the housing crisis, all of them either declined or ignored us outright. One housing coordinator even said that she had no idea what was in the works for the future of the university housing, so I guess it's for us to find out later. For BSN News, I'm Sarah Washington.
Thank you, Sarah. At 7:30 a.m. on Tuesday, October 28th, UC Santa Cruz police attempted to pull over a man in an Isuzu Trooper for a traffic infraction. What seemed like a routine citation turned into a 2-hour, low-speed car chase from Santa Cruz to San Francisco. Sometimes traveling as slow as 30 miles per hour, the driver led the CHP over the Bay Bridge and eventually pulled over at Mission and 7th Street at 9:45 a.m. With unemployment numbers rising and potential employers announcing layoff, UCSC students are tightening their belts and questioning how marketable their degrees will be. Here to explore students' responses to the current economic downturn is reporter Blake Northey.
Transportation. I've been taking the bus a little bit more, but not a whole lot. Like I ride my motorcycle instead, so save money on gas. But lucky gas has been going down lately.
Actually, I'm just cutting back on a lot of the silly things that I used to spend money on. Like my parents are definitely feeling it. I had a real estate agent for Mom, and my dad works in construction, so both of them are feeling it pretty hard. So when we come from an area that's very, very rich actually. So we're just trying to like cut costs on the silly things that a lot of people spend money on, and like my insurance, like I have bad insurance, so I don't drive, and yeah, just cutting back on little things that we can cut back on.
Definitely noticed over the summer that it was like very, very difficult to get a summer job, and I mean, I guess, yeah, like absolutely.
Living situation too, so hard to find. Oh, sorry, so hard to find a living situation.
Yeah, real estate, the market just sucks. So getting a house next year is going to be difficult, and then student loans and all that. It's just
loans.
Yeah.
And tuition is going to be a little scary if budgets get cut for education and financial aid starts dropping. Yeah, exactly. We love Obama. So.
What about transportation?
Oh, I don't have a car.
I don't have a car because I can't afford gas.
Myself, try to spend as little money as I can. Not driving my car helps a lot. Don't have to spend money on gas. Ride my bike everywhere I go. But obviously I have to make cutbacks on other things. I can't go buy clothes or everything every day. Sometimes it's hard to even buy textbooks. I just have to deal with it the best I can, I suppose.
Use very little gas in general because I take the bus everywhere. Either that or I ride my bike. But I would say the biggest effect of the latest occurrences in the economy is just, I don't know, probably the most direct effect is food prices for now, but the effects are not going to be fully felt for a while. Like, it still has not, the lack of all these billions and billions of dollars that have vanished in the financial debacle, that's not, I don't think that's going to be felt by a lot of young people, students, for a little while until they finally start going out into the job market, paying for stuff, I mean, because my parents are fortunate enough to give me an allowance for food. It's not huge, but those amounts are not being affected by what's happening right now in the banks.
Economy is really good or not, I think we should still always follow the rule that do whatever you do best and what you love to do the most.
So there you have it. Just some of the ways the national economic situation is affecting the UCSC students. This is Blake Norley reporting for Banana Slug News. Now back to you in the studio.
UC police went to College 8 Saturday, October 25th, to investigate 2 reported burglaries. Sergeant Cabrieles and Officer Robinson informed residents that over the past 2 days, there had been a series of break-ins at Porter, Kresge East, and College 8. Interestingly, all these break-ins were made through an open or unlocked ground floor window. So just a reminder to close and lock up your windows and doors every time you leave your home.